I don't want to say this on TV, but I think I need to give a tip. So can we do a stop by at a Bank of America?
Oh, okay, yes. Yes. Okay, so we've got Francesca on board, and she is so excited. We're in a Versa Note, which is a very, very small car, and I don't know how we did it, but we fit 20 years of luggage in the car here.
Exactly.
And she is going. She's so excited. She's leaving. What city are we in right here?
Calabasas.
She's leaving Calabasas for which country?
Turkey.
For Turkey. Oh my goodness. Turkey. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I had a woman last week. She didn't speak any English.
Oh.
And she was Turkish, and she spoke Farsi.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew I was recording her.
Mm-hmm.
And her friend would put her in the car, said she's a great singer. So I said, when I put my thumb up, I want her to sing. Right? So for 30 minutes, she looked forward, never looked at me, never looked at the camera, and talked.
Wow.
Constantly, and then every once in a while she'd break into a song, and I have no idea what she's saying. Maybe we'll play it in a little bit. You can try to translate, because some of it was Turkish and some of it was Farsi.
Wow.
So I don't know. So what did you do for the last 20 years?
In LA?
Yeah.
I was an actress and a writer.
Okay.
And I really tried my best. And I'm giving up.
You're giving up?
Yeah, I just...
Oh. What was the biggest movie you're in? Let's start with that. Or television series? Anything?
Home movies? No, I'm joking. No, I was on off-Broadway shows in New York.
Okay.
And then after I had 3-4 movies in Europe and Berlin and stuff like that.
Oh, so you came here to live and you went back to Europe to make the movie?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That's funny.
So, yeah. But it was nice. It was lovely. I came here with one suitcase. Now I'm leaving probably.
Turn right on 2000.
It was a lot of weight back there. Your bill for the is going to be pretty high.
Exactly.
But so what are you going to do in Turkey?
I lost my dad, so and I'm going to go back, and I'm writing a screenplay, so I want to finish that.
Okay.
A pilot, and hopefully it will be picked up. We'll see.
And Netflix is probably in every country right now, right?
Yeah,
because it's the biggest studio around now.
Yeah.
I'm a producer as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I'm producing this show right now.
Oh, really?
Which is nothing. I mean, this is just, I'm doing this show as a thing for veterans. We give them a free phone. We give them free a half-hour national exposure on a new streaming platform.
Wow.
And they keep all the money from any endorsements. It's just a way to thank veterans.
Nice. Very nice.
And I'm doing a cooking show, which if you were rich and famous, I would have you as my guest on. It's called Cooking Styles of the Rich and Famous.
Okay.
Do you know anybody rich and famous in Turkey?
A lot of people.
Who's the richest person you know in Turkey?
I don't want to say that.
Okay, but you know them, right?
Yeah,
okay, so here's how this works. Because you're an actress, this is perfect for you. You're going to invite that person to be on my show. Now, my show is going to have billionaires. Do you know who John Paul Jory is?
Yeah.
Somehow or other, Francesca willed it to stop because she was talking about losing the rights to buy a company. No, that's not going to trust me that way.
They outbid you, that there's a competition, so.
No,
you have to keep it quiet and never tell your plans in life.
Yeah, well, that's true. I happen to go the opposite way. I don't believe in patents. You know what a patent is?
Yeah.
Well, a patent is an exact, you already know what it is, but I'm saying for the camera, it's an exact plan and exactly how to do something, right?
Exactly.
Well, you're telling everyone how to do it.
Exactly.
So you have to find them in Turkey or in Bulgaria to sue them, right? And that's not going to happen. Yeah. So I believe in what's called the poor man's patent, and that's where you mail the plan to yourself,
yeah.
certified.
I always do.
And I did that 35 years ago with a big deal. But anyway,
I did a gay TV thing.
A who?
Gay TV.
Gay TV?
Yeah, I had the idea of gay TV for gay people.
That's a good idea.
And for 10 years ago, so I kind of copyrighted.
Okay.
So every time I have like a credit card thingy, they ask me like
or something. I don't know what's happening here, but they don't want to record Francesca. So she had a great idea.
That's why they don't want to record it.
We don't want to talk about it, right? We shouldn't talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Your gay idea. Welcome back to the show. So we're having some technical difficulties, but Francesca is so interesting. I really got to have her on camera because she's telling me some great stories. And so where were we before we were so rudely interrupted?
So I was cooking for my mom, doing shrimp pasta, and my mom got swallowed like a shrimp.
Oh no!
like nearly poisoned her. So every time I tried to cook, she says, "Oh no, not her, not her." So like you were telling me that I can be host
No,
of
you
the
see,
show. I don't want to cook.
No,
I
you're
don't
not.
wanna,
See,
okay.
there's 3 people in the show besides the guests. There's the host, who's
Okay.
gonna attempt to cook their favorite meal, but like a lot of celebrities and maybe a president or 2 can't cook, so they get to invite their favorite chef. It could be their personal chef, like with John Paul DeJoria, he's gonna have his personal chef. It could be your mother, it could be your sister, your daughter, whoever you want to help you cook your favorite meal.
My mom can cook really well.
So well, no, it's not you inviting him, it's the guest. So
No, I'm just.
let's pretend. We're gonna pretend for a minute.
If somebody needs to cook, it should be my mom.
Well, no. Well, and then you can convince him to invite your mom. The point is, the person.
But my mom is more important than the president.
Of course he is. Of course he is. No, what I'm saying is, let's pretend you haven't revealed to me who you know. That's rich and famous. But we're going to pretend it's the president of Turkey. Now, the president of Turkey, he's the one that gets to decide who to bring. But if he's your friend and you say, invite my mom to help you, then he's going to say yes, maybe. But you're the host. I mean, in other words, you are going to, be, because we usually have a girl host.
Okay, I'll ask him.
That asks the questions and gets people talking and make sure the conversation's flowing. Because it's usually 8 or 10 people at the dinner party. We have the cameras rolling. Because people want to know the president's favorite meal. They want to see him try to cook it. If he can, maybe he can, maybe he can't. You see what the value is? And he gets to talk about whatever he wants, and he gets to support his charity.
Okay.
So everyone's saying yes.
Okay.
And if you ask someone, they say no. Okay.
I can ask president. We'll see if he wants to do it.
Yeah, just ask the president. We asked Melania Trump,
Did you?
and she's likes the idea, but the security for that is going to be kind of tough. But it was her personal photographer that invited her. See, we're only inviting people we know. We don't invite strangers. So now that you're my friend, you're going to invite someone. You are allowed to invite someone to the show.
Okay. Perfect.
And Turkey, we'll go to Turkey. What we're going to have to do, because it's going to be expensive, is I have to find a Turkish sponsor that's going to pay for the cost of the show.
Okay.
And that might be a famous dress designer, or whoever wants that exposure, because someone's going to want the exposure, because the president's going to be on the show, right?
Yeah. So will the show be presented like any TV channels or?
Yeah, it's going to be in worldwide, over 250 million Roku, Amazon, and Apple TV devices on a new network that's launching in July. It's like, NBC, but it's not NBC. It's streaming. So you can watch it on your phone, your computer, or your TV. If you have a Roku, an Amazon Fire Stick, or an Apple streaming device. Follow me?
Yeah.
And it's also going to air on some cell phone. John Paul DeJoria has a new phone that's 3D, and we're going to shoot part of the show in 3D. So it will also air the content on his phones around the world, because he's looking for 3D content. Matter of fact, when you're in Turkey, if you have anybody that has 3D content, we can license it for the phone, because the phone is going to be sold all over the world.
Wow.
It's an amazing phone.
Yeah.
3D without glasses.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So how long have you been planning the trip to go home?
I went back, and now I'm going back again. So came and went back and forth.
So your dad passed away. You went over there for the funeral,
Yeah.
and then you decided, I'm going to come home.
Well, I just moved into my dad's home, and and one day.
Oh, so you inherited a home? Do you have a home in Turkey?
Well, kind of, yeah.
Is that apartment?
It's still apartment, yeah.
An apartment, no? Is that a mansion?
No.
With a lake?
No. I wish. Would have been nice.
Well, you're certainly excited.
It's like a mansion here is like worth $500 million.
Right.
A mansion there is like worth $1 million to maybe I would say $40 million.
Right.
But it depends, like where you live.
Right, of
You
course.
can buy a nice Oh,
Of course.
with a nice
Look
land.
at that
like,
view. Look at what you're leaving.
Oh, my home has the same kind of view.
Yeah, right now we're high top the Malibu Canyon, and the ocean just came into view.
Yeah, it's so
And
pretty.
this is a little bit better than the freeway. Did you see the freeway, bumper to bumper?
Yeah,
What, do you think I made the right decision?
you're perfect. I was like, oh my god. And you came in like 5 minutes.
Well,
Everybody was like,
here's what
saying
happened
like
today.
22 minutes or something like that.
Well, yeah, but here's what happened. Is I was up in Ojai visiting my grandkids.
Oh, nice.
And I said, well, why not just turn it on, say I'm going to the airport, and maybe I'll pick up a fare on the way home.
Oh, nice.
And then I picked you up.
Thank you. Do you live around here?
I live in the marina. I'm going home.
Oh,
So after I drop you off, I'll go home and have my cocktails. It's
Wow.
almost cocktail time, right?
yeah.
What time is it?
I'll be back till like October or so again. But my dog is pregnant, so
Your dog is pregnant?
yeah.
Your dog lives here?
No, in Turkey.
Oh, your Turkish dog isn't pregnant.
Yeah, she used to be here. She left with me, and she got pregnant after 7 years. She never liked the guy. She didn't want to have anything to do with the guy. And she met this Argentine doggo, and very handsome boy, white and muscly and everything, like
Wow.
And all of a sudden
Love.
it was like match made in heaven. My boxer just went for it, and I was like, wow. And then I was crying, like, oh my God, look at my
Well,
puppy.
how do you have a dog in Turkey? You live here.
No, I rescued my dog from Stone Quarry, and we were together. We came here. We lived here for 4 years, and then we went back again, and come back again, and went back because of my dad was dying, and it became a service dog, and it was able to travel on plane. Very good dog.
I
very
just
well
noticed. Look what it says. We're going to be together the next hour and 14 minutes.
Wow, you have the longest relationship I've ever had. Oh my God. Just like, sorry to say. I'm sure you didn't have the grandkids without a wife, right?
No, I have a wife.
Okay.
36 years.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I couldn't live in the same place for 36 years.
Oh, I haven't lived in the same place, that's for sure.
No?
No, we had 12 homes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I haven't had the same job for I've had 70 different careers so far. Over 70. 70, around the world.
Oh my God.
I was a snow machine operator in Switzerland, a waiter in Florida. I built silos in Iowa. I produced Ray Charles on his 50th birthday. I worked in theater. I worked in film. I worked in. I was 20th Century Fox's largest Portuguese dubber. I turned all their programming into Portuguese.
Wow.
I made millions doing that. The list goes on and on and on and on. And as of 1 month, I'm a Lyft driver. But I'll probably only be a Lyft driver probably another week, maybe 2 weeks.
Why?
Well,
You wanna
because
retire?
I've done it. Yeah, you can retire on Lyft easily.
You bought a new home?
Lyft drivers, 5 weeks with Lyft, and you get to retire. That's how much money you make at this stuff.
No, I was thinking maybe you just bought a house and you got enough with
No. Again, remember, I'm doing this SOS show that you're on,
Oh, okay.
and I'm
Just for
proving
the show.
concept. So I'm recording stories, So here we're going to get back to you now. What advice do you have for actresses from Turkey that come to America? Because you're Turkish, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what Turkish is
Go to New York. Don't come here.
New York?
Yeah, this is not a place for an actress. This is just a very beautiful place just for, vacation.
Don't they make a bunch of movies here though?
Yeah, but
What
most
happened?
of
Did
them,
you fire your agent?
Let me tell you this. Like, if you're an actress and you just don't get it, let's say you're not a movie material. Not everybody's a movie material. You don't have the big tits. You don't have the perfect nose. You don't have the perfect blonde hair and perfect skin. You don't glow in front of the camera. And you're not a comedian, okay?
Okay.
You're a loser. You're a nobody.
Okay.
So what are you going to do? You have to somehow improve yourself,
Well, there's
develop
the
yourself.
porn business that pays well.
No.
Well, that's one. That's one avenue they go to.
Yeah,
right?
look, a girl
so-
from Turkey not gonna go to porn.
Oh, yes, of course.
So-
Americans only do that.
So you can. I'm not saying Americans, but I'm just
No,
saying
mostly
that
Americans
they're
are in the porn
conservative. Most girls coming from there, they're more conservative. So
From
it's-
Turkey.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's not a religious thing. They're just conservative. It's like you don't see a girl from Iowa in porn business.
I beg to differ on that one.
Or
I
Wisconsin.
think most of them from Iowa are in the porn business.
Or Wisconsin. Didn't make sense at all.
That was a bad one. Bad analogy.
Okay, so when you go to New York, there are a lot of theaters, so you can practice your craft and you can become a theater
Definitely
actor.
have to be good.
You can
but
write.
here's the thing about acting.
Worst comes to worst, you can carry the lights.
I was born in the business, okay? And I happen to know that anyone could be a star. Danny DeVito is a short, ugly guy, and he's a major star. So, and you have a look, you just didn't give it enough time. You should have gave it 21 years.
No.
You fell short a year.
You think so?
Of course.
Oh, I'm going to cry now. It's the actors in me. No.
Well, first off, wait a minute. Let me ask you something.
On cue, I can cry, yes.
Oh, can you really? Let me ask you a question. What is success as an actress? You tell me what success is.
Oh, well, you're not divorced. You don't have kids. And you're doing pretty well with your bank account. You don't have debts, credit card debts.
Okay.
You don't have a loan. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have a car payment. You have a nice...
So it sounds like you're successful. See, it's not about the money. You got to admit, if you love your trade and you do well at your trade and you look forward to working in your trade, you'll make money in your trade. But you can't have it as that's why you're in the trade, to make the money. Because you got to look forward to being in that movie in the morning. When I make a project, that's my favorite thing. Out of all the 78 careers, producing is my favorite thing, because I get to wake up and say, "Oh, I get to create something today," right? Yeah. So it's the day-to-day life that makes life worth living. Not I'm going to be rich in a year and a half. You have to live today. Right now, we have 57 minutes to experience, and talk about life, love, and the pursuit of happiness. And it's every day. So here's one of my sayings, and I've said it before in these shows, and it's perfect that you're an actress, because life is a movie. We all have our own separate movie. Today's scene in your movie was packing 20 years of crap in 7...
and giving up?
No, not giving up. Because it's a different path. Okay, here, let me continue. Again, your life is your movie. This is a scene in your movie. You're with Monty. It took me 63 years to sit here to meet you. It took you 37 years. Let's see, whatever. And so you can make this a great day or a miserable day. So you're happy, so it is a great day. You're not miserable that you're leaving. But you have to look at every decision you make in your movie as the right decision. So going to college is one way, and going not to college, going to Turkey, and not going to Turkey. So it's different. That's the wife calling. I can talk to her later. But so you have to look at every decision you make as the right decision. Then you're going to build confidence in yourself. And so you got to say that no matter what, look at this beautiful house.
I know, it's so pretty.
No matter what, going to Turkey is the right thing to do. It doesn't mean you can't still be an actress. Because you obviously must love acting. Right now you're disappointed in acting because you don't feel you're successful at it, right?
I don't feel I'm successful at anything right now.
Well,
and I'm so sorry.
So you ever hear the saying, "I think, therefore I am"? Have you heard that? Aristotle's or some philosopher said that a long time ago. And let me give you some life lessons, because I'm a philosopher. Mm-hmm. I've been around the world. I'm a published author. I'm a songwriter. I'm a philanthropist. I'm lots of things. Mm-hmm. And I have great advice.
Okay.
And it's what you put in that little noggin of yours that's going to make you happy. Now, you got to say you're very successful. You made it 20 years in America, because you're still alive. You were able to survive for 20 years, and now you're going home as a success. You made it as an actress. So you got to put in your mind the right things. You can say, I could be happy or I could be miserable. I could think I'm a success or I think I'm a failure. It's up to you to do that. No one else is going to put that in your head. You follow me?
I started my life as a success. I was thinking about it, like,
But
in
you still
lifetime,
stop saying negative things.
No, it's not a negative thing. In a lifetime, woman makes like 9,000 eggs, and till 52 or something, and
Okay.
man does it every day, millions of it. So when you have a child, think about this, like the odds. You have one egg finds this, medium to one egg, and they get together, and then here you are, miracle.
Okay.
So that's a success.
Yes.
Oh, a success.
Every day on the top side of the grass is a success. My business partner, when we were doing foreign language dubbing, he killed himself.
Oh,
So
I'm
that's
sorry.
a failure. He has no way to experience anything more after killing himself. And he really shouldn't have, but he made a mistake, and it was a pretty bad mistake. A bad left turn. As I say, life is a series of left and right turns. You have to see that every turn you make is the right turn. Left turn to go to college, right turn not to go to college. And whichever one you made, you have to see that that was the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
So left turn to come to America from Turkey, right turn not to come. You came here, you lasted 20 years, you probably had some good times, you're in some movies, right?
Yeah.
You did some things.
Yeah.
So now you got to say to yourself, believe it, that you made it in America. And you also made it to where you had the plane ticket to go home.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't even get that together.
Yeah.
So they
They
can't even
try.
afford to go home.
Exactly.
Right?
They go to Vegas.
So
and then
you go home to Turkey, and you were a successful actress in America. You were in TV, you were in movies, you were on Broadway, and you were able to come home with 7 times what you came to America with.
Because he's
No,
not
you
from
gotta
Turkey.
put that in your head. You have to. No one else is gonna put that in your head. Okay, now some more advice. There's a book called The 4 Agreements. Have you heard about that?
No.
Okay, this is important for you. The 4 agreements are: 1, be impeccable with your word. Right? You understand what that means? 2 is never take what people say about you personally. Now, you as an actress, every day you're taking it to heart what they said. And it has nothing to do with you. It's their problems, their insecurities, their issues. So when you throw that one out, your life's going to be better. Okay, so remember that. But don't take what anyone says about you personally. 3rd is never make assumptions. We make assumptions. Oh, he didn't answer the phone because he doesn't like me, or I didn't get. He doesn't. You just make assumptions all day long, and they're bad. Do not make assumptions. And the 4th one is always do your best. Now, you came to America, you did your best. That's all you can be expected to do. You can't do more than that. You just, and you still have the looks to make it in this business. If Danny DeVito has the looks to make it in this business, anybody does.
Well,
Now, do you have a great memory? Did you nail your lines all the time?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you were good with that? Okay.
Yeah, theater is the hard work. Like, you have to
Theater is
memorize.
hard work. I was in
memorize
theater.
Yeah, memorize everything. It's not like you do 4 pages and sit.
Right.
You have to do the whole thing in one go, and you can't make a mistake. There's nothing to go back to. Like,
You probably just didn't sell yourself properly, and you maybe didn't have good management.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't have a good agent.
I didn't market myself. Well.
You have to. You have to market yourself because.
Yeah. I was very shy and not very.
You can't be shy in the business.
Yeah, I just after a lot happened in my life, I became more relaxed and not so shy. So.
Right.
But anyways, past
But
is
that's
past.
all the past.
Yeah.
Forget all about the past. But you got to promise me when you go to Turkey, no matter who asks you whatever, you are a great success in America because there's none of their business anything else besides that. All you want to say is positive. You know what I say when someone asks me every day, "How are you?" You know my response is, I only have one response. What do you think it is?
Great!
Wonderful. Better than great. Wonderful.
Wonderful! Fantastic!
How are you?
Fantastic!
Fantastic. And when you say it like that, people go, "Oh, what's wrong with it's great to be fantastic."
Exactly.
And it's only up to you to be fantastic. So I don't want to hear this failure shit, You were fantastic. You had a great 20-year run in America. Believe me, you're better off than 10 million people in Los Angeles right now. They're stuck in this rat race. You're going to Turkey.
Yeah.
How much better are you getting out of this rat race? And as a successful actress, you worked on Broadway, you were in TV, film, commercials, right? All that stuff.
No commercials.
Oh man, you're total failure then. I wasn't even commercials.
You were?
I was in a national
Oh
commercial.
no, I was in one commercial
Okay,
for a
good.
wrinkle
Okay.
thingy.
So you're
didn't go
doing an
for
interview
it.
right now. You're in Turkey. You're doing an interview for a job that you want.
Okay.
And you say, okay, so tell me about your time in America. What have you been doing?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me.
My time in America?
Yeah, so because now you're in Turkey, you're interviewing for a job.
Oh, okay.
And he says, well, tell me about what happened in America.
Happened?
Yeah, in one quick sentence. Let me answer it for you.
Okay.
I spent 20 years in show business. I was in theater, I was in movies, TV, and commercials. Living in Los Angeles, I lived in the most beautiful areas. I had the greatest time, and I decided to come back to my homeland because it's a rat race over there. I escaped. I made a success of myself, and I left town. How's that for a response?
Perfect.
Is it any lies there?
No.
There's no lies there. So I can't lie, and you should never lie. But
Enhance it.
enhance it. Like, I'll give you an example. When I tell people a story, you remember when they were streaking in the old days? People would be naked, they run through college, and streaking, it's called streaking. So I would tell a story, and I would say, when I was in college, they had streaking, and my sons would say, no, you can't say that. I said, what do you mean I can't say that? Well, you can't say when you're in college. I go, well, it happened when I was in college. But they say, but you were only in college for 2 weeks. I go, that doesn't matter. When I was in college, they had streaking, and I participated. Did I lie?
No.
No, I just...
What did you study in college?
During the 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Girls, mostly.
No,
Anatomy.
What was your major?
In 2 weeks? Yeah.
Major? You should have some major. I mean, what were you studying?
I was only in there 2 weeks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I studied, well, I remember one of the reasons I stopped was that I had a physics class that was impossible. Like, there's no way I could remember an equation the next day. So, your
You
first...
studied political science. What was your major?
Wow. Well, see, you don't know me. You didn't read my book. So I suffer from a disease called CRS. And it's so things like that aren't there. You know what CRS is, right?
No.
You don't know what CRS is?
No.
Oh, it's a terrible disease. It stands for can't remember shit.
Oh, okay.
It's very, very debilitating.
Sorry.
So, yeah, it's a shame because I really can't remember if I had a major. It couldn't have been much of a major because your first year in college, you just take general ed, I think, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so the point being is that response I gave you is what you need to tell people. Okay. You didn't lie at all. You had a great time in America.
And great time in college.
And a great time. You went to college?
Yeah.
You went to college in America?
Yeah.
That's even better. I graduated. Did you graduate?
Yeah.
You went to college in America. You graduated. You worked in theater in New York, television and film and commercials in Los Angeles. But you just found it was just too plastic, too fake.
No, it's not
People
true.
were real.
No,
It is true.
No, it's not.
Oh, go with the plan.
No, I'm not going to. I loved America, and I still love America, and I'm a citizen. I became a citizen
Oh, you're a
here.
citizen. Dual citizenship. Very good.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful country. I'm proud to be American. I shouldn't say that, right? It's just
No.
But I have to go back because settle some finances there, and then I'll be back.
She'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Francesca, say goodbye to Francesca. When you run into her in Turkey, tell her you saw her on the SOS show. Thanks for watching.